When God spoke to me at 4:19 this morning and I just began to inquire of the Lord, what have I left undone? The Lord spoke this word. He said, America, America, land I created, one whose voice has touched the nations, one whose beauty is unsurpassed, one whose rivers I have dug. Wake up. Your beauty and my blessings have provoked others to hatred. I have blessed you for change. I've called you to stand with a voice, a clarion call I've placed within you. What price would you pay for liberty? What price would you place upon a soul? The souls of men are at stake. The face of a nation is at stake. For you have placed your trust in mammon when I have placed my spirit in man. Shall I therefore trust in mammon? Do you hate me or love me? America, America, your enemy surrounds you. Will you resurrect the gift, America? Your enemies are about to exploit your weaknesses and take advantage of your sleepful state. For many years, you've been lulled to sleep by watchmen drunk with power and drunk on fame. They have drunk from the wells of tradition and unbelief, all the while saying, we see, trust us, yet they've seen nothing, says the Lord. Their reward shall be the blood of den men crying out for their shameful deceit of following after mammon and not destiny that I imparted. I did not call them to positions of power, but rather positions of meekness, position with me. I gave them invitations to know me, but many chose to instead be known. America, wake up. What would a man give to save a nation, to receive the reward? What would a man surrender to save America? What warning will be shouted? What will you do to see revival of a nation? What price would you pay to see me move? What price would you pay to see me revealed? What price would you pay to see me awaken? What price would you pay to see me come to you? What price would you pay to see my glory? What price will you pay? My reward is with me. You have awakened me. Now answer me. My reward is in my right hand. What price would you put on me? The Lord of glory. He said, I will sound the alarm. I will save the lost. I will do the work. 911 Citicorp. 911 Citicorp. 911 Citicorp. The enemy shall attempt to exploit the weaknesses of the airlines. I've told you of lethargy. I've told you of a sleeping sickness. I've given dreams and visions, hidden speech and enigmas. He said, the American eagle shall be the symbol. I've told you of the venue coming. And now I tell you of the target. The main event is Citicorp. The target is the nationalization of your banking, the governmental control of your wealth. The fearmongers are breathing death, but I am bringing life. I carry breath and I carry you. Citicorp is their target. The Empire State Building is their base. The foundations are weak. 911, 911, 911, 911. And then God said 910 is an important day. I'm going to have a friend come up here and speak in just a moment. And God said, more important, will you go low or will you stop the plot? Will you buy or sell low or will you stop the plot? He said, Osama bin Laden has a plan. God began to reveal to me that just in the last 24 hours, two major terrorist leaders were killed in two different countries, two different continents. And these two terrorist leaders are a picture, and their last Al-Qaeda threats are, we want to bring down Bush, we want to bring down Obama, we want to bring down America. And so we began to reason, why would they target the Citicorp? My children dream these dreams. God spoke to me and He said, the main event is coming. M-A-I-N-E. Whatever this is coming out of Maine. Could it be an American Eagle regional jet that will crash into the side of a building just like before? And could they be staring from their perches in the Empire State Building while they're planning and planning? And could it be that they're going to hit the ground at the same time they're going to hit the air? Could it be that they're going to release something very dirty? Could it be that they're going to release something on the streets at the same time they hit the air, and this time try and block the emergency equipment from even getting to the building? began to look at why would this be the target. And God told me that this year that there would be a hybrid spirit in the White House. A hybrid is the joining together of two different races. Two different ideologies, two different theologies. And we have that hybrid spirit in the White House. A hybrid plant is the mixture of two different DNAs joining together at the same time. Two different faces. Two different ideas. Two different thought processes. I had a friend of mine, a dear intercessor friend of mine this week, who had an incredible dream. And the incredible dream is that she had become, for some reason, she had become a woman who was in an affair with our president. Our president was having an affair with a woman. And she woke up to discover that she was in an affair with him and that he had impregnated her with his ideas. And she was the sleeping church. Yes. And there were three spirits coming from the Middle East, and there were three men in the White House who were berating her for not bringing forth in the first trimester the baby, because they knew their time was short and they knew their plans were about to be aborted. And they were yelling at her, make the baby, make it come forth. And you couldn't expedite it. And she was like surrounded. And Michelle was standing in the corner looking, knowing that this affair was going on. And she was angry at what her husband was doing, but she was having to submit to the plan of these three spirits from the Middle East. And what God is saying to us right now is that the church has been the sleeping woman who is in an affair with the White House, not knowing that she's been impregnated with the doctrines of demons, and is facilitating the plans of the enemy and the Antichrist spirit by the sleeplessness, because the watchmen were in a prideful position of trying to have their names known rather than his name known. And God is asking us as a nation, what are we willing to do? Are we going to answer with our pocketbooks and begin to do something? When we've talked recently about releasing 250,000 books in New York, I thought, that's a pretty lofty plan. I was planning on doing 20,000, and God said, why not 250,000? And then I began to realize what he was doing. Because in getting it out to the nations, there's an average of 4 people to every household. It's really touching about 1 million people, but it's touching more than that through the internet. And it's touching more than that through the television. And when the things that are spoken of right now are in that book, and the book's been released before it happens and it comes to pass, there's going to be even more people inquiring. And God said, this is the casting of the net. And this is what's going to draw people from all over the world to this property. And they can't fit in this building. As a matter of fact, there's some big boats on this property that are all going to get filled up, and their finances are going to flood in because of what God's doing. This isn't about a man. It's about him. It's about God's voice being heard. And yet God's asking us, what will you pay? What's the price you'll pay? I thought, God, I don't know what price could I pay that I haven't paid. I've given everything. I've emptied my pockets, my bank account. I've sacrificed for years. Is there anything undone? God actually showed me that there was something undone. Sometimes we don't pay the mower man. Today we had the lawn mowed here. We had to make sure the mower man was paid. To make sure that God's hand was moving the way that it's supposed to move. And I was talking with Chuck, and I was telling the mower man story, and the mower just started up right outside the door while I was telling the story. Chuck ran into the office, wrote out a check, ran it out there, handed it to the guy. I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I'm paying the mower man. I said, I'm hearing you right now. See, when you get in debt, you don't understand how to get out. But if you've gotten out, then you're being sent to help somebody else. We know what it's like to go in debt trying to get the move of God launched, trying to help God. And then we know what it's like when you get crushed and run over because you can't fulfill the vision and the destiny. And you realize that if you could ever fulfill it, then you would take all the glory and the credit for it. And when God cuts you down so low and says, all right, now do you need some help? Yeah, God, we need some help.